Israel. I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashema Mashiach Umarak Yahushua, Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world calls God, and Yahushua being the name of his only begotten Son, who the world every calls Jesus Christ. Right, brother Tazamal from WFI Chicago, coming at you with a video. Another strong shalom to all the mighty sisters that's at home, that's reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, being tender, delicate, and on fire for the Lord, right? And that's teaching the younger women how to be sober as well, right? Another strong shalom to all the mighty children, right? The aqua as well. So like the children, the teenagers that's at home doing all they can to make their calling and election short, right? And the topic of this video is, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days, right? Because the time, if you didn't know, the times are coming where the days are going to get evil. All right, brothers talk about this all the time. This is nothing new, but you got to sit down and ask yourself, have I literally experienced these things? Because yes, brothers say it's going to be a famine. They say the lights is going to get cut out. Men are going to die at a rapid rate. But what would you do if somebody literally gets their head blown right off in front of your face? How would you react? How would you react if you see a sister that's down the street in an alley, she's getting molested, she's getting raped, and she can't call the police because there's not going to be no police in Jacob's trouble? We got to really ask ourselves, who's going to deliver us? Yes, we know Yahweh Shah is going to deliver us. But hey, the Lord said, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Because the land is going to be barren of faith. Man on the earth in the days of Jacob's trouble, he's not going to have the faith that he might have right now. All right, so brothers and sisters got to ask ourselves these things. Are you building up your faith? Right? Are you praying for more mercy? Because these are the things that do salvation in the latter days. I want to get this in chapter. Right. I want to get this in the book of 2nd Esdras. Salakia, chapter 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days. Now, this is Ezra speaking. All right, Esdras in the Greek. It says, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings. Now, if you didn't know, Esdras, he's already predestined to get the kingdom. All right, let me get that in 2nd Esdras 8 real fast. Right, Esdras, he's already predestined to get the kingdom of heaven. Right, Uriel the angel told him that. We're going to get it. This 2nd Esdras chapter 8 and verse, I'm going to start at 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Right, so many miseries are going to be done in the last days. It says, because they have walked in great pride. That's talking about the men of this society, right? Esau, wicked Jake, your damn mom, your aunties. It says, verse 51, but understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, right? Plenteous is made ready, a city is built, a rest is allowed, yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom, right? The root of evil is sealed up. Connection. All right, he's literally telling Ezra, you're predestined to get the kingdom. You don't have to worry about this. All right, so if Ezra is already predestined to get the kingdom of heaven, right, and will be a soldier, right, a part of the 144, why would he say, woe is me? Why would he say, who's going to deliver me? That's because the death, destruction, the plagues that's coming to America. And yet we are living in the end of the world. If you didn't know, we are living in the end of the world. Or you got men saying, well, I don't know. All right, maybe last year. No, if you don't believe we living in the end of the world, go outside right now and go look. Just go outside and go look and tell me if that's just the end of the world. All right, when was the last time you seen a damn butterfly? You don't even see butterflies no more. You barely see worms, barely bumblebees. The earth is polluted. It's gas in the air. The food is GMO. right? We're living in the end of the world, man. All right, you got to ask yourself, who's really going to deliver me? Yes, Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us, but you got to actually, but men don't believe that for real. You got some brothers, they just go to camp where they book bag on, scream Kwam Yasharala, and that's it. No, you have to literally believe that Yahweh Shai will save you. All right, let's get that in Luke. So, like, let me get that in Luke 18 and 8. All right. It's the book of Luke, chapter 18, and verse number 8. It says, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And that's a rhetorical question. That's why I got a question mark behind it. It says, when Yahweh Shai returns, is he going to find faith on the earth? Hey, that's deep, man. You got to really think about it. When Yahweh Shai comes back, little to no men are going to have faith. Right? That's all prophecies. Let me go to 2nd Esdras 5 and 1 real fast. Right, let me go to 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, right, meaning the signs, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number. And you got to imagine that. Right, they say it's probably about 7 billion people in the earth right now. Imagine that getting reduced at a mass level. Now it's only 500,000 people in the world. All right, because that's what the Most High wants. All right, let me get this in Isaiah 25 real fast. We're going to go back to 2nd Esdras. All right, let me get this in Isaiah. So I want Isaiah 24. All right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24 and verse 6 says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left. And that's what the Lord wants. The Lord wants few men to be on the earth. Or he doesn't want the population to be 7 billion plus more. The Lord is sending plagues and destructions. Right? That's 2nd Esdras 16 and 7. All right. So let's go back to 2nd Esdras 5 and 1. Keep that in mind. The Lord wants few men on the earth. All right. This 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 1 again. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. Right? This wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding is going to be hidden. You're not going to be able to go to the highways and byways. Brothers say it a million times, right? But we got to keep repeating it, man. You're not going to be able to go all the way to down the WFI Baltimore camp or the Sons of Thunder, whichever camp you like, and go get the truth. It's going to be hid. That's why you have to get it right now. You got to stop being slothful. Stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll read tomorrow. And Jacob's trouble, you're not going to be able to pull out your phone and watch a YouTube video to get exhorted. And you got to have it in you, man. Some things you just can't teach. Or you can't teach a man how to be on fire. He just got to kind of have it in him. All right? So the way of truth is going to be hid. It says, and the land shall be barren of faith. Or I'm going to read that again. It says, and the land shall be barren of faith. Why is the land going to be barren of faith? Because the famine. All right? Like I said, we haven't experienced a man eating another man alive. These things will happen, man. Right? Let me get this in 2 Kings. Right? The 6th chapter. Right, let me get this in 2 Kings 6 and 25. Imagine you walking down the alley and you see another man. He's chewing on another man's fingers. And he's knocked out cold. All right? These is the things that's coming to this earth. And it gets scary, man. Right? It gets scary. I want to get this in 2nd Esdras 6 and 25. This 2nd Esdras, so like your 2 Kings 6 and 25. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So it was a great famine in the land of Samaria. Now reading this, it just said a dove's dung, meaning a dove's, its feces was sold for 5 pieces of silver. So you're gonna have men, they're gonna be eating squirrels' dung in Jacob's trouble. Turtles, men is gonna be eating raccoons. Whatever you could think of, men is gonna eat. It's no food. You gotta think about it. There's no food on the shelves. There's no Doritos you like. No Snickers bars. No down Fritos. Men is gonna have to eat whatever men are gonna be eating grass, man. Alright? It says, verse 26, and the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. And a lot of brothers don't like this account. This literally happened. A woman came to the king. She said, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and then we're going to eat your son tomorrow. This is in the Bible, right? If you didn't know, this is in the Bible. 2 Kings 6:25 on down. All right, go read this in a Christian church. Go tell your Christian pastor that a famine is coming to America. He gonna look at you like you crazy. All right, this is in the Bible. A woman, she said, we're going to eat your son today, and then we're going to cook my son tomorrow. Hey, that's coming back to America. That's coming back in the earth again, right? Because the Lord, he requires that which is past. I'm going to keep reading. It says, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. Verse 29, so we boiled my son. Here you have it. There's no food. And it said it was a great famine in Samaria. It wasn't it wasn't how it was when the coronavirus first came out. It said it was a great famine, man. So we boiled my son. Imagine she kind of boiled, she got a big pot, a big basin, grabbed some firewood, kind of throw her son in there. And the son is crying, he's screaming. And she kind of just dealing with it. That's coming back, man. And a lot of brothers and sisters, if they see that, they will bug out. A lot of people, they bug out for certain things like that. If you getting trauma for seeing somebody, some people, they get trauma for seeing somebody get their head blown off right in front of them. Or you might see a person get ran over by a train. You traumatized for the rest of your life. How much more when you see somebody cooking their son and saying that's good? You gotta really, brothers and sisters gotta really think about this, man. Right? It says, and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And they acting like this is just normal. But it's gonna be normalized. Why? Because the storehouses are gonna be empty. Right? That's 2nd Ezra 6:22. A great famine is coming. And America hasn't seen a famine yet. At all. Name one time in history America had a famine, a great famine throughout the whole land. That was sore. All right, America don't know what's coming to them. It's so much food. When I was in high school, we used to have snack time. So like around 3 p.m. or 1:30, everybody used to get the snacks. And I tell you, they threw away so much food. It was so many leftovers. They just kind of threw it away in a trash can. You had Cheez-Its, Goldfish, Pringles, fruits. They just threw it all away at the end of the day. Hey, men is going to wish they would have ate that. They going to think back to the time. Because America, they just consume and consume and consume. Right? The average American, he's not worried about what he's going to eat tomorrow. He's not eating leftovers. I'm going to McDonald's tomorrow again. And then waste 2 McChickens or whatever they eat. All right. All America does is consume, consume, consume. Right. Reading on, it says that we may eat him, and she had hid her son. So this woman, she didn't ate this woman's son, and she kind of hid her son. All right. It says, and it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes, and he passed upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he's had sackcloth within upon his flesh. See that? So all hell was breaking loose during the time of the kings, man. And that's coming back on America. The land is going to be barren of faith. You're going to have men you probably been labored with 2 weeks, 2 years, 5 years. They're going to start to question, is Yahweh Shah coming back? Here you have it. You a pilgrim, right? You finna start a fire, all right? Other brothers come in, they adding wood to the fire, and out of nowhere, the brother says, is Yahweh Shah gonna come back? I don't know. And the brother probably used to be mighty too, going into the prophecies, exhortation, the breakdowns. Then he asks, is Yahweh Shah gonna come back? With a straight face. These is the times you coming in. So what should you be doing, knowing that these days are evil hid? We just read that Ezra, he was promised the kingdom of heaven. Uriel literally told him, you will receive immortality. And he still said, woe is me. Because the righteous, they're going to scarcely be saved. Certain men, they're going to get through the thin of their hairs. All right, let's get that in 1 Peter. The classic. Let's go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. All right. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter. And some men, they waiting on salvation. That's all they wake up, salvation, salvation. They thinking about Yahweh Shah. That's the mode you got to be in. You got to constantly be thinking about the Lord and when he's going to return. Because only a wise man will want to get the hell up out of America. I literally heard a brother, it was on IG. All right, I'm not going to say his name, but and he kind of basically said, so what if I don't make it to the kingdom of heaven? So what if I don't get everlasting life? I want this place destroyed. He said, I want the Lord to come back right now. Hey, I feel the brother. All right, because there's nothing but wickedness. The inhabitants defiled, the so-called white man that defiled this earth so much. All Eve want to do is be a harlot. She want to have no clothes on. Jake just want to smoke weed. Jake just want to play video games all day. Want to crack jokes. As literally this brother I know from high school, still to this day, he cracking jokes. He was cracking jokes in 8th grade. Then he was cracking jokes as a sophomore. We got to the senior year of high school, he cracked joke. And he's still cracking jokes to this day. All right? So everybody in the land, they don't know what's going on. All right, these Americans, and I consider Jake to be an American, just by the way he acts. They don't know what's going on. All right, but let me get this in 1 Peter. All right, let me get this in 1 Peter chapter 4. And I'm going to get straight to the point, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved. So righteous men that you see, the most humblest men, he might scarcely get saved. All right, the most humblest sister you see, she might scarcely get saved. That's how deep it's coming into. Stop just thinking, oh, I'm going to get saved. I'm on the highways and byways. I'm keeping the commandments. I'm fasting. I'm praying. No, man. The righteous men are going to get saved by the skin of their hairs. So hey, that should have you to be on fire, man. 10 times more. The man that's crying, right, that's beating on his chest, that's shedding tears, he might scarcely get saved. This thing not a game. See, a lot of brothers, they come into the truth. They get relaxed after a while. They think everything's just relaxed and cool. But you got to fight for it, man. You got men right now, they up late nights. They up in the morning. They down grinding. They in the scriptures. They going through the precepts. Right? They're praying for more faith than ever. Praying for more mercy. Right? The kingdom is just not, stop thinking the kingdom of heaven is just going to get handed out to you. No, you got to earn it. All right? Just like you will earn it in basketball in the world. You probably went to the gym 4 times a day. Then you in the gym 3 times a week. You doing the dribbling drills. And you say, I want to make it to the NBA. And you got to have that same drive for the Lord, man. Right? Let me finish this. 1 Peter 4:18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Right? And that's all I wanted. If the righteous scarcely get saved, man. All right? So the land is going to get barren of faith. Now let me go to 2nd Edges 15-19. All right? Let's go to 2nd Edges chapter 15 and verse number 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. And this is the great woe that Ezra was talking about, right? The great destruction. He said, who would deliver me? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. So your next door, and that might not literally be talking about the next door neighbor. Your neighbor could be the man you grew up with all the way from elementary. You've been laboring within the truth. All right? You know this brother real well. Y'all used to do the breakdowns together, hop on the videos. Guess what? The brother come knocking at your door. It's a family. All right? He know you got some food in there, and you kind of don't answer it. Then he start banging on the door. Open up. Then he kicked down the door. All right? And you see it in these movies. Only reason why I'm expressing that because, you know, in these movies, they kind of get into it. Then he's in the living room, right? And it's a piece of bread in the middle of the floor. And you know how in the movies, they might look at each other. They look at each other. Then they look at the food. Then they look at each other again. Then they look at the food. And then it's the first man to go get that thing. And it's going to be the strong, whoever the strongest going to get it. It's not going to be like, it's not how it is to right now. Oh, yeah, you got it, Op. All right? It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like, you got it. Men is going to fight. They don't have no pity. It's not going to care about how much they labor with you, right? How mighty you are. All right? What's your rank and your count? Men is not going to care about if you a general over 5,000 or a captain. Hey, men is going to have to do what they got to do. All right? Reading on. It says, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. See that? So it's going to be the lack of bread. Right? That's little bread, but the bread represents the food. It's going to be lack of food. You have to literally think, man. When you fast for let's say you fast for 2 days. And your stomach, it get kind of hungry, man. But you know you're going to eat at the end of the day. You might be watching. Some brothers, they watch the sun. Oh, yeah, I can't wait till 6 o'clock. Or I'm going to drink me some water. And you might not know when the next time you're going to eat. And the Lord might try certain brothers to the point where he might try them 2 years. Because he know in that second year, he might give up. That's why you have to pray that the Lord chastise you right now. You got to get as much chastisement in right now, affliction, hell, death, so you know how to maneuver in Jacob's trouble. Because let's say you don't know how to take affliction right now. You don't know how to catch hell. How much more in that day of Jacob's trouble? You might think. But right now, you're taking a practice test. Right now, it's basically like your first grade teacher. She gave all the kids practice tests. Spelling words, practice test A, practice test B, all the way up into the final exam. The hell you catching right now in the truth, the family members leaving you. Men laughing at you. It's plenty. I got laughed at before. All right. And Yahweh Shah, he got laughed at. Right? You being rejected by your father, your mother. Are you losing your job? Your wife getting on you? Whatever it is that you're going through, those are the practice tests right now. And the final exam is the hour of temptation. All right, that shall come upon those that dwell upon the earth, to try them that dwell upon the earth, paraphrasing it. All right, so right now are the practice exams, and for you getting ready for the final exam. Now, if you might be acing a practice test. Say you send a woman your way, you kind of get her out the way. All right, you go to the precepts. And then a final exam come, you ace it. That's what we trying to do, man. We trying to knock out these practice tests. And Lord willing, every brother and sister that's watching this, they want to ace the final exam. All right, let's go back to 2nd Ezra 15 and 19. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 19. Right? It's like it. Let me get 2nd Ezra 16 and 22. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap. It says, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. So victuals you have right now, they will start to become cheap. All right, we see that right now. It says that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth. And evils are multiplying every day. You got homosexuals, they're at an all-time high. All right, now if you get on a homosexual and Jacob's trouble, they gonna want to kill you, man. They might kill you. Right now, they kind of can't do nothing, or they gonna get arrested. You gotta keep in mind, it's not gonna be no SWAT team in Jacob's trouble. You're not gonna be able to pull out your phone and dial 911 if help. It is what it is. You either got the Lord on your side or Satan. All right, it's like you. You either got the Lord on your side or the spiritual demon Satan. It says, sword, men dying. We were just going into it, right? Literally, you seeing a man, and a good movie to watch is, they got these end of the world movies like The Forever Purge or Purge 1, 2. You can see all the killing at a mass level. Men getting their head chopped off in the alley. Because you got to think, it's maniacs out here. They got Esau in a mental institution right now. And Jacob's trouble, nobody's going to be able to guard that mental institution. All the prisoners, the people that's mentally retarded, mentally unstable, the psychopaths, they're going to be let loose. All right? Those psychopaths right now that's in a damn mental institution that Esau got, and it's Edomites. All right? We know it's Edomites. Guess what? All of that, they're going to be let out. All right? So guess what? If you got psychos running around loose, people that get off on killing other people. Literally, Esau gets off on bloodshed. That's what makes him thrive. He loves it. All right? Just seeing people die, getting tortured. So left and right in the alleys, at the gas stations, you might get somebody getting stabbed to death. And you got to kind of get up out of there. Like, brother, like, man, you got to literally sit down and think about this. Yes, we talk about it, but ask yourself, dang, imagine it. There's nothing wrong with imagining stuff in your head. All right, these is the days that's to come. We got to get prepared. And a lot of brothers, you don't really see a lot of camps talk about this. You don't see a lot of camps going into the prophecies on the end times. Men getting killed, women getting raped, babies getting ravaged, babies getting eaten, men eating themselves, right? Men just say, oh, if you got the Most High on your side, you'll be all right. Well, you would be all right, but hey, you gotta make sure you experiencing these things. No man has literally ever experienced these things, all right? Because the days to come are going to be like no other days since there was a time on the earth. It's going to be worse than 1619. It's going to be worse than the Roman-Jewish wars in 66 to 70 AD, right when the Romans came in and destroyed our temple. It's going to be worse than the Spanish conquest of the Aztecs. All right? So reading on, it says famine and great confusion. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So many men, they going to die for famine. Yo, Edomite boss, he might get put to death by a famine. All right, and they say a famine is one of the worst ways to die. They say dying in a famine, that's not a good way to go out. You better off getting executed than dying from hunger. All right, let me get that in, let me get Precept and Lamentations, the 4th chapter. Right? And get that in Lamentations chapter 4 and verse number 9. It reads, it's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. See that? So the Lord said, it's better for you to get killed with a sword, an open wound, get shot in the streets, get shot with a sniper, right, than to die of hunger. You gotta really think about that. All right, it's been 7 days you haven't eaten. All right, your beard all rusty, your throat, and when you haven't eaten or drinking, your tongue start to get like white stuff on it. Your mouth start to get real dry. Then your throat start hurting. Then you could barely walk, and it might be 100 degrees. It might be 100 degrees outside in Jacob's trouble. There's no water. You just crawling. All right, then you just give up the ghost. All right, you gotta think about this, man. It says, that's it on that. But going back to 2nd Ezra 6 and 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. See that? So men, they're gonna die of famine. Let's say you escape the famine. You might find a loaves of bread. You might find some goldfish crackers. You might find some Cheez-Its. Guess what? The Lord said, if those men that escape famine, they're gonna die by the sword. So you gotta ask yourself, what should you be doing? Because this could be this could be me. I could literally endure right now and perish by the sword and perish by famine. You should be praying for faith more than ever. Like I said earlier, you living in the end of the world. A lot of brothers, they don't believe that. Like I said, go outside right now. Go look at this. Just go look. Just go outside. If you don't believe we living in the end of the world, go outside right now and go look and ask yourself, are we living? You can see it. The trees are dead. Jake just bugged out. These demons are increasing. The slothfulness demon. All right. The envy demon. The strife. All right. Men falling out left and right. You can see it. The time, man. I believe I just did a video last week. Right? Time is moving at an all-time high. Literally, I literally watched the whole day fly by. I set an alarm every hour on my phone, right, to throw up prayers. And just like that, the alarm was going off. So time is moving at an all-time high. All right? It might be 9 o'clock. You go to sleep at 9 o'clock. You wake up, it's 1 in the morning. You go back to sleep, it's 9 in the morning. You got to go to work. From 9 to 3, you down take your lunch break. From 3 to 6, you come back home. Then you just do it all over again. So the Lord is showing you the signs you living in the last days. Right? The Lord is showing you the signs that you're living in the last days. I want to keep reading. Verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So Chicago, guess what? Chicago is going to be cast down. Atlanta, that's going to be, those buildings in Atlanta, guess what? That's going to be cast down. Right? They literally putting this in front of your face in the end of the world movies. Every movie you see that's pertaining to the end of the world is not a coincidence that all the buildings are dusty. They know the scriptures more than some of you in the truth. Esau, he knows the scriptures some more than you Jakes and you women that's in the truth, man. Right? That's why 2nd Ezra, if you haven't read 2nd Ezra, right, I challenge every brother and sister that's watching this, when the next book you finish, read 2nd Ezra. You living in the time of 2nd Ezra. If you haven't read 2nd Ezra, you got to get in there. All right, and I challenge brothers and sisters to do that. All right? So going back, it says in the earth and the city shall be cast down. Hollywood, California, Las Vegas. All of those casinos are going to be finished. Walmart. It says verse 24. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. All right, and that's on the spiritual level as well. No man is gonna be doing the work in Jacob's trouble. And you might break down the scriptures to somebody, but you're not gonna be wherever you at. You're not gonna be holding count, getting on Esau, bringing out Deuteronomy 28. That's not gonna happen. All right. Verse 25. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripe, and who shall tread them? All right. And these are rhetorical questions. For all the places shall be desolate of men. It's gonna be desolate. We just read that in Isaiah 24:6. The Lord wants it so it's few men upon the earth. And it's all up if the Lord grants you to live. Let me get that in 2nd Ezra 4:24. Because these times, it's exciting, man. Right? Although we don't know if we're going to get delivered, these is exciting times you coming in. And only a man, if the Lord counts you worthy to see these things, because many men have desire to see what you see. All right? Peter the apostle. All right? They were seeing the miracles of Yahushua. They wasn't seeing World War III getting built and built up. Paul the apostle, he wasn't seeing China going to war with Taiwan. Many men have desire to see what you see, man. So you're counted blessed and worthy if you're even able to see the end of the world and these things go down. I want to get this in 2nd Ezra 4:24. Right? 2nd Ezra 4 and verse 24. And we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers. See that? Damn, that's crazy. It says, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. And brothers got to go over that constantly. We're not worthy to obtain the mercy of the Lord. If you ask me, I'm not even worthy enough to get the kingdom. All right? After everything I've done in my past, I used to be some men, they used to be a murderer, a thief, all right, a homosexual, a damn transgender prior to you coming in the truth. You used to be you got some Eves, they used to just tell business 24/7. That's how I used to be on the phone with a homegirl, and then just, I don't like her. She's bougie. Some Eves, they used to be like that. You Jakes used to get jealous, had a spirit of jealousy, right? You Eves overprotective. We used to be filthy, man, right? We're not even worthy to obtain the Lord's mercy. Brothers gotta really think that. Brothers gotta literally put that in their head. We're not worthy. We're not worthy enough to get the kingdom. After everything we've done, used to be a harlot, used to sleep with different women night and night and treat them dirty. You might used to be with a nasty old white Edomite. You got to think about it. We're not worthy. We're finished. All right? If we didn't know this truth, if the Lord didn't bring us into this truth, we were finished. But the Lord had mercy, man. A lot of people, they underestimate the Lord's mercy. All right, let me get that in Psalms 107:43. All right, a lot of people, man, they take the Lord's mercies for granted. And a lot of brothers think the Most High had to do this for them. The Lord didn't have to bring you out the world, man. The Lord didn't have to take you from whatever you used to be. You didn't clean your room up. You was playing video games and eating pizza all day. The Lord didn't have to bring you into the truth. A lot of brothers in this truth, they think the Lord needs them. All right? They get into their head. They think the Lord needs them. The Lord don't need nobody, man. He's the Most High. So it's a blessing for you to even, if you're watching this, it's a blessing for you to get and receive exhortation. Like, brother, it's the little things that matter, man. They tell you that in the world, right? It's the little things that count. But I want to get this in Psalms 104. It's like Psalms 107:43. It says, whoso is wise, meaning a man that's wise and will observe these things. Because when you read in Psalms 107, right, the Lord had the children of Israel to prosper, and then they will forsake him and serve other gods, and then they will cry out, then the Lord will save them. Right? They will forsake him, cry out, then the Lord will save them again. The Israelites will get forsaken, serve other gods, cry out, and then the Lord will save them again. Right? It says, and will observe these things. So only a wise man would observe the tender kindness and loving mercy of the Lord. It says, even they shall understand the loving kindness of the Lord. So that the Lord didn't have to do this, man. The Lord don't need you. He's the Most High. Right? He don't need nobody. Right, let me get this in Job real fast. Let me get this in Job 14 and 15. Right, it's the book of Job, chapter 14 and verse. It's like I want Job 15 and 14. It says, what is man that he should be clean? So what are you that you should be clean? You're filthy. You get wicked thoughts every day. And Lord knows what some of these jakes be thinking. It be wickedness. All right, I see it all the time. We're vile. We're corrupt. We're in the flesh. Lord knows some of these Eve's thoughts. And I told them, I said, I want to really sit down and think what be going through Eve's head sometimes. All right. So it says, what is man that he should be clean? And he which is born of a woman, that he should be righteous. So if you're born of a woman, guess what? You're not righteous. You can forget about it. If you came out of a woman's womb, you're not righteous. It's in the Bible. It says, behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yeah, the heavens are not clean in his sight. So the Lord don't trust nobody. That's what it's saying. And it said the heavens are not clean in his sight. Imagine that. The Lord is in the heavens, and he said the heavens are not even clean in his sight. It says, verse 16, how much more abominable and filthy is man. And the Lord called man filthy. Now with some filthy, that means it's kind of dirty. Like your mom say, hey, go sweep up that rug. It's filthy. It got all hairs in it. The cat then coughed up hairballs in the rug. You got bleach. You got damn stains on it. Ketchup stains all in the rug. It's filthy. That's how the Lord compared man being filthy. It says, which drinketh iniquity like water. And brothers, some men, these Edomites, they try to say, I gotta drink 8 gallons of water every day. Then they kind of getting 8 gallons and they chugging them. And the Lord said, how much more abominable and filthy is man that drinketh water like iniquity. So, amen. Brothers drink water every day. I drink water. Every day I drink water. Guess what? I'm drinking iniquity as well. That's how man drinks iniquity, man. It's like that. That's why you're so quick to go off. All right, but we got to live in the spirit and not go after the works of the flesh. All right, so let me get this. Let me go back to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. All right, 2nd Esdras. And if you just coming on, the challenge, I made a challenge that the next book you read, you have to read 2nd Esdras. If you haven't read it yet, or even if you already read it, the next book after you finish, you have to read 2nd Esdras. All right. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 27. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another. See that? And right now, men, you got some men, they want to be by themselves. They say, no, I'm not joining the camp. Right? We're not dealing with camps. All right? We want to be an individual, like, just want to be in a house by himself, cuddled up, probably with his rib. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another. Just like, let's say, for example, the men that go into the military or the Navy, when they come home, hey, they parents or their wives, they not just saying, hey, how you been? How you doing? Hey, they running, they jumping, man. They running, they're crying. Right, let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Right. Right, let me see if I can pull that up real fast. The Navy meets his family. Right. So Lucky, I'm trying to see if I can pull this up real fast. I'm trying to see if I get a good video. I think I might have one. Alright. I might have one. Alright, we might have one. It's a man in the Navy with his daughter. He just getting off the Navy ship. Hey, that's not happening in Jacob's Trouble. Alright? That's not happening. And he kind of ran. I wish I could find a better one, but alright. Hey, that's not happening, man. Alright. Hey, Salakia, that's coming back in a big way, my bad. That's coming back in a big way. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another. So right now, men, they don't want to really be around other men. Guess what? In that day, you're going to be running like those men on the Navy when they've never seen their family in like 5 years. And they kind of run to them. That's how man is going to be. Because it's going to be few men. If you hear another man's voice, especially if in the truth, let's say you in Jacob's Trouble, right? You hear a shofar go off. And you're going to kind of get excited. It's been 5 years since you heard a shofar blow and you hear it. And somebody say, Kwame Yashal, real loud. And you going to kind of do what you got to do. All right, that's coming. That's going to happen in Jacob's Trouble. It says, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. So in a city, the city of Chicago might have 10 people exact. Imagine that. All right, let's look up the population of the city of Chicago. Population of Chicago. Dang. And they say it's, let me see. They say it's 2.71 million people in Chicago. You can't make this up. I don't know if y'all can see that. All right. But they say it's 2.71 million people in Chicago. So imagine you going from 2 million to 10 people. Hey, that's going to happen. 2 million people, here you have it. And now it goes back down to 10 people. Hey, that's deep, man. That's deep. It says, verse 29, as in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 2 or 4 olives. Right now you might have a tree or a man just gathered in a fruit. It might be 2 or 3 left on it. It says, or when as a vineyard is gathered, there are some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. All right, and that's cold, man. I want to jump down to verse 33. I'll read verse 32. It says, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travail through them. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. women shall mourn having no husband. Now we kind of went on the men, all right, but it says the women, the virgins, they're gonna be mourning. It says the women shall mourn having no husbands. Why is the women gonna where their husbands gonna go? It's gonna tell you. It says their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. And the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. See that? So certain men, certain women's husbands, they gonna get drafted into World War III. Then they gonna get put to death by the Lord. All right, then the husbands, they husbands gonna die in famine. And it said Salakia, it says their daughters shall mourn having no hope. Now, I brought this out earlier. Imagine you walking down that alley and you see this woman. Now, it's not going to be 911 in Jacob's trouble. You see a woman in the alley, she's screaming, help, help. You got two men, old, nasty, psycho, white men, they raping this woman. And that woman used to probably be proud. She used to probably be scoffing, being a nigga woman. And it kind of is what it is. Because if you in fear, you putting your life in danger. If you interfere with that woman getting sexually abused, raped, and you putting your life in danger. Like, you going to see men raping women in Jacob's trouble. Like I said, brothers don't want to talk about this. But Lord willing, through the Spirit, we gonna cover everything, man. Because these things need to get talked about. These things, we got to get prepared, the people of our minds. All right, we got to be the watchman. We got to declare what we see. All right, let me get this in Proverbs 22. I'm going to get a few more, and I'm going to close up. Right? Let me get Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. Right, this the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse number 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, meaning a wise man, he sees evil and hideth himself. Then he kind of withdraw himself. That's what a wise man would do. We're seeing the evils. We're seeing everything is written in the Bible. We're seeing the death, the plague, the famine, the destruction. Only a wise man will hide himself. But on a deeper level, right? Let me get this in Zephaniah 2 and 3. On a deeper level, the Lord is going to hide you. Let me get that in Zephaniah. Right, the 2nd chapter. Right, this is Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth. Right, because the meek shall inherit the earth. That's Matthew 5 and 11. It says, Slakia, that's Matthew 5 and 5. It says, the meek shall inherit the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness. So the Lord is telling you what to do. He's saying, seek righteousness. Forget all about the things right now is distractions. The video games, the social media, the demons at the work. Whatever you're dealing with is all a distraction. It says, seek meekness. You have to seek to be meek. Seek to be humble. Be willing to learn. Some brothers, they don't want to learn. They just want to go out there and think they know it all. Brother, you have to be taught again. Right? We don't know anything. Some of us, we've been in the truth for 3 years, 4 years. And that means we're 4 years old. Because if you believe on Yahweh Shah, right, you're going to be reborn again. That's John 3 and 3 on down. So if you were born again, right, that's meaning taking everything that you've been taught out of your mind and being retaught as a child. Some brothers, they only 5 years old. A 5-year-old is not going to lead the way. Now I know it all. Brother, just sit back. Learn, man. It's so much. You can learn a lot from just learning. Right? Christ. It says, seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be that ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. See that? So a man that's seeking righteousness and meekness, guess what? He's going to be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. That's mean, man. And you want to, every brother and sister should be striving to be hid from the day of the Lord's wrath. Because that's nothing nice. When the Lord is saying he's coming with 10,000 of his saints, every eye shall see him. Everybody's going to be crying. Men is going to be afraid. Tornadoes, earthquakes at an all-time high, damn tsunamis. It's not going to be a pleasant sight. The clouds are going to be out. This stuff is literally going to happen. But a wise man, he will seek righteousness and meekness, that he may be hid in the day of the Lord's wrath. Right? So let me get this in I'll give you one more precept in 2nd Esdras 15. Right, this 2nd Esdras 15 to 57. It says, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. So children, little children, they're going to die of hunger. It says what? Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. It says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. Because men are going to be pilgrims on the earth. Right, that's 2nd Esdras 16 to 40. So you're going to have men in the mountains. All right, they're going to die of hunger and eat their own flesh. Now, you might be like, what do you mean they're going to eat their own flesh? Men are literally going to have their hand. They're going to be eating themselves. This in the Bible. I'm not making this up. I'm not adding to the word. I'm not getting a pen and writing these things down. This is written. It says, and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood. See that? So men is literally going to be cutting themselves and drinking their blood. That's literally what's going to happen. Like I said, I didn't write this. I didn't write the KJV 1611 by King James Version. I didn't write this. Right? The Lord did. It says, and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. See that? Men is going to be drinking their own blood for thirst of bread and water. So these are the things that's coming on the earth. All right? Let me get a few more. Let me get some closing precepts. Brothers and sisters got to get prepared. Right? And the way a lot of people, they ask, well, what do I do in Jacob's trouble? How do I survive? Where do I get started? It starts right now. You getting prepared for Jacob's trouble, it starts right now. How does it start? By being on fire. By praying as much as you can. By fasting. Beating on your chest. Hey, some men, they literally beating on their chest. They're screaming out the Most High's name. They calling upon the Lord. All right? They ripping their hair out. Their beard. They throwing it. They saying, Most High, have mercy on me. Right? Those are the men that's going to survive Jacob's trouble. That's praying for faith. That they're not praying to be the mightiest men in Israel. They're not praying for the most wisdom. You got some brothers saying, I want King Solomon's wisdom. Brother, you might not know what to do with all of that. Because certain knowledge, brothers get certain precepts and breakdowns and go to their head. It says, I've heard the doctrines of this count. I was a follower of the channel, but some things didn't sit right with me. Listen to these brothers at the end gathering. Lessons are golden. Yeah. So you gotta be praying for more. You gotta be praying more than ever. Let me get this in Luke, the 18th chapter. All right. It's the book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men always to pray and not faint. See that? So men is always to pray and not to faint. So you have to be praying more than ever. Because these spirits are amping up. These spirits is going crazy, man. Where I tell brothers all the time, these spirits have literally, they have a commandment by the Most High to increase, because evil and wickedness is going to increase. Right? That's 2nd Esdras 14 and 16. And they can't buck up against the Lord. They can't say, Most High, I don't want to increase. Most High, I don't want to be more wicked. No, they obey the commandments of the Lord. So the Lord tell these evil spirits to increase. Guess what? It's going to increase. So what has happened if you're not increasing? If you're not growing? Those evil, dark, and demonic spirits, they're going to overtake you. Right? It's only a matter of time. They're going to overtake you and destroy you. Right? So men is always to pray and not to faint. Brothers and sisters got to keep that in mind. While we living in the end of the world and the last days, continue to read, pray, fast, study, cry out to the Most High. Right? There's nothing wrong with crying to the Lord, man. Right? King David, he cried out. Jeremiah, he cried out to the Lord. Elijah, all of our forefathers, they cried out to the Lord. Right? And I'm no better than my fathers. All right. So, Lord willing, this video is edifying. Right? We want to give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashema Mashiach Wamadak Yahweh Shah. Shalom.